Gary, thank you very much for finding the time in such a busy schedule for this interview.
My pleasure.
We now talked that last time you were in Serbia in 2006.
Yeah.
What do you
I think
remember
so.
of that show in Belgrade?
The show was awesome. I remember there was like an illness going around on the tour, and so everybody got sick. But the show was amazing. It was fantastic. We're happy to be back. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. We're looking tonight to see this show, and as we could see on the socials, you played almost all the great festivals, and the audience accepted you very well. So what's your impression now, having such a hectic schedule and touring all these nice cities around?
God, our schedule's been brutal because, we recorded for 7 weeks, went on tour the very next day in the U.S., and then we had 2 weeks and then here. So I've been home for 2.5 weeks since March.
Oh, God.
So we're tired. But, I have all summer after. But the festivals have been awesome. The response has been amazing, and the fans are always awesome and totally killer. And so we're having fun, yeah.
I heard that you recorded almost new material for almost 2 new albums.
Yeah, just a little bit left to do later, but we recorded 18 songs.
Oh, can you tell us a little bit more about it, when we can expect it?
Early next year, I think around March.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Are you going to separate into 2 records? Or
Yeah. It's two totally separate records, but we kept writing, and we had so much material that we just let's work extra hard, and so when it's time to start thinking about a new album, we could relax a little bit. I wish we had 20 songs done, because then we would have the next album done, and then I could go on vacation or something. I've never had one.
But why did you record so much? Is that, do you want to cut the 10 best out of it, or all the 20 are great?
They're all great. They're all amazing.
Great.
Yeah, the 18 songs, and they're all totally awesome. It's hard to pick which ones, but we did it so we could work less later. We're getting older. I'm 61 years old. By the time we think about releasing the next album, that's going to be 3 years, so I'm going to be that much older, and then I can go on vacation in between albums. Like I said, I've never gone on vacation.
Really?
I've had vacations where I played guitar to be, but I've never gone on a vacation where I didn't have to play to be there.
So you plan to do it after this tour and after recording?
After the whole album and all, yeah, I'm going to go somewhere. I don't know. I don't know how not to work, though.
Is it because you're workaholic, or because...
I'm a workaholic, yeah.
Yeah.
My wife will have to tell me to shut the phone off,
Yeah, but that's the way you live, It's not so easy just to turn the phone off and just relax.
It's hard for me.
Yeah, I can understand.
At home, I relax, though. But at home, where I live in the country, it's a lot of work living there in the woods, So I'm working, but it's working on my house, and I like that.
So you live in the woods?
Yeah, I live in the country. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
No city life for me anymore.
Do you mind if I ask you about Steve and his leaving?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, so what actually happened,
Well, I don't want to go into any details because there's no bad blood.
Yeah, I know.
It's just we're all getting older and we want to be happy. And he was not happy. He was very unhappy. He was awesome on stage and awesome in the studio and awesome to the fans. And there's no problem with that. And I loved his performance, and his voice is great as ever. But it's the time when you're not on stage, when it became to where it's bringing everybody's spirits down, and this is a hard job to do when you're our age, and every single time I go to the airport to go on tour, I'm sad because I'm leaving my grandchildren and my kids and my wife and my house, and it's hard. But that's once I get out here, I'm with my brothers and I have fun. And if that part isn't fun anymore, then none of it's fun. Maybe on stage, maybe, but we're happy now. We're Rob's here, and all 5 of us hang out and spend a lot of time together, and we have a good time.
Yeah, Rob was actually the logical choice, and
yeah, I'm set in my ways. I don't like change, You know, so like changing singers was never in my my future plans. I don't like change at all. You know, I'm stuck in my ways. And the idea of like finding a new person who you don't know and you don't know if your personalities work, that was never an option for me.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I could find someone half my age who's got tons of energy and awesome, and he's got visible abs, muscles, and jumps off the top of the drum riser. But you know, like I might not have anything in common with him.
yes, that's what I wanted to tell you, that I respect your decision to have Rob and not some younger singer, which is almost double younger than yourself. Then it's not
Yeah,
part of the
it's
team.
like you know, some
Yeah,
guy, some kid the same age as my youngest daughter. It would be weird.
yeah.
I'd feel like a father telling him to clean up his room all the time. You know.
I wanted to ask you one question to solve me the mystery I've been actually questioning. Is there a true that the way that the record label was guilty with Bonded by Blood, that they didn't release it on time so you could stick to the famous like Big Four at that time?
Yeah, we had tons of delays. Exodus is a band that's always had more than our share of turmoil and problems. And we signed to a brand new record label. We were their first ever band, and there was so many delays with artwork and just you know it was a like a learning experience for them. And so it got delayed like over a year, I think. You know, so you know it pushed everything back. But I don't worry about the past. You know, I can only control the future as much as anybody can. You can't really control it all, but you can control what you do. And so, you know, I've never like worried about any of that stuff. Big Four, Big Five, Big Ten.
Yeah, but I understand. But like the kids, like my son and everything, they think it wasn't fair at that time that you weren't officially labeled as a Big Four, although people can discuss is it Testament or Anthrax or whatever. At that time, I mean, Bounded by Blood is one of the best albums ever, and the classic for that tone. We can agree on that. So
Yeah.
people expect that if it happened immediately, that maybe you could reach there. But as you don't label yourself, I think you know how you work, and you
Yeah.
don't need to be under pressure of Big Four.
I'm under no pressure. Exodus in 2025 have been for many years the greatest thrash band in the world. And so everybody else can fuck off.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
We're better than all of them. And I'm sorry, it sounds like an ego, but listen to any of our records. We crush them all.
Probably the quality is actually the key why you weren't label, because like Big Four, because I remember at the 19th I was on a tour, like they say, like Clash of the Titans, and it was Slayer, Megadeth, Testament, and Suicidal Tendencies, and for some reason Suicidal Tendencies didn't fit in because all the bands
Yeah, well, we had just did the Headbangers Ball tour, so you know,
yeah.
we did a bigger tour than that with 3 bands. So you know, never, I did. People say, why didn't you do Clash of the Titans? Well, we did Headbangers Ball. We were all over MTV. It was a bigger tour
Yeah, I understand
with
that.
Anthrax, us, and Halloween. You know, it's like
Is it difficult now for you to be in let's say in between like Slayer and Exodus?
no. When Slayer ended, 2 months later, I was on tour in Europe, taking a shower in a dirty backstage shower, and I was having time of my life. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I
You know,
understand.
it's like I missed it. You know, like this Slayer are my family, but Exodus are my first family,
Yeah.
and I'd been mostly gone for a long time, so I was happy to be back. I mean, we got strip searched by Swedish border guards, and I didn't like that so much. But you know,
Why was that?
oh, because Zetcho was smoking weed in the back of the bus before the border. And the main reason was Lee was really drunk and he was being super obnoxious. And I think they decided to strip search us just to get back at us.
Oh,
Just like,
God.
all right, fuck you, dude, in the room. That
Sorry
was
for
Lee's
asking.
fault. I don't blame Zetcho for it. The dog smelled some weed, and all right, you know, you pay a fine. But Lee's mouth, you know, was what that made it happen.
Yeah, but it's not such a big reason for strip search, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
don't you be nice. Like I was standing there going, "We're really sorry, sir. We'll be, you know, yes, anything you need, you know." Like I'm being really polite and real kind, and Lee's sitting there, this is still stupid. Like Lee, shut up, Lee. And eventually, we all got strip searched. So, but I had the best time. I thought I was going to die on a ferry. The weather was horrible, like it destroyed the inside of the ferry. Like the duty-free shops, just broken glass everywhere. I thought we were going to go in the bottom of the sea, and I still had fun.
Thanks God it happened that way. When they invited you to play instead of Jeff, when Jeff was already sick, did you know that you're gonna stay in
No,
Slayer at that time? As you just
I thought it'd be 1 or 2 tours. I didn't know it'd be 10 years, you know. So, I mean, we wish he was still with us, you know. I wish it was short, just until he got healthy, you know, because I'd rather have Jeff there. But, you know, in his absence, you know, they made me feel like family. You know, we're friends since we were kids, since we were like 20 years old. And so, yeah, just longer until tragedy struck, and then it became permanent.
yeah, but people say that the only really logical replacement, if we can say, for Jeff is you. That they couldn't imagine anybody else being part of the family,
Well,
especially because of the bondage.
Yeah, we have history together, and we're friends and stuff. So, I mean, you could get some Slayer fans can be vicious, you know. And I think if you got the wrong guy, the fans would let you know it. You know, they'd probably throw everything at the person. I had 2 hecklers the whole time, so I consider myself lucky.
Yeah, I know. But when you see now, like the Slayer thing, like none of us can like realize is it reunion or not reunion or whatever, you know, because first officially they say they're gone, and then Kerry started, and then Tom's talk. How do you think it's gonna happen at the very end?
I think it's every year we'll see. You know, we'll never tour again. I'm busy with Exodus. Kerry's got his own band, and I don't think Tom wants to do any full tours. Last year we did the shows, and we were really, really good, and we had a really good time. And that's the most important thing, is we all had fun. And so we do it again this year. And if everybody has fun, maybe we do some next year. I don't know. Every year is a different year. This year might be the last ones. I don't know.
I see. As we all know by the history that Kirk left Exodus for Metallica, do you have the opinion, and fans all sometimes tell me that they think that Slayer and Exodus and Testament didn't sell themselves like Metallica did with the Black Album, and that's now Metallica has a stadiums and not just like they used to be before, comparing to you, which you still, you know, like to the roots, to your fans, and dedicate the
No,
music.
the Black Album is one of my favorite albums of all time.
It's mine as well, but that's
It's fucking awesome. And, you know, Metallica were already 10 times bigger than any of us before that. They were selling arenas during Master of Puppets, which to me is the greatest metal album ever made. And, you know, and Justice for All, they were already way bigger than any of us. Then they just became the biggest metal band of all time.
Yeah, but now when you see them, they got the stadiums or whatever. Like true to the core, Metallica fans think that the Black Album was when they decided to get commercial, while Slayer stick to their sound, Testament stick to the sound, Exodus stick to the original sound. You didn't make the compromise like people think they needed to do to become that big, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all had moments. Testament had moments where they like got way more commercial. We had one album that was more commercial, Force of Habit. But, you know, ever since Tempo the Down, Exodus, we make the music we want to hear. We don't care if anyone likes it at all. And if we're lucky, other people do like it. But we write every album for ourselves. We don't think about anyone else. Just the 5 people, you know, us, and whether it's Zetro or Rob on vocals, you know, we're here to make us happy. We don't give one rat's ass about what anybody else thinks. And when you do that, though, hopefully the fans like it too, you know?
Better stick to your guns so people can recognize it.
Musically, I have to make ourselves happy. We do, you know?
As I'm the same age as you, but you're old grandpa, and my son is sitting here, he's 19. Do you notice the younger audience who like this? Like,
yeah, our audience has gotten really young. We have little kids in the front every single show. It's crazy, really. Like 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, but they go back, you know, since they're bounded by blood. They know all the songs.
Yeah, the little kid at our show in Bratislava last night. It's a little girl. She's at every show, and she knows every word to every song. Doesn't matter what we play. I don't remember the words. You know, I don't sing it, but I might have written them, you know, and I don't remember. She knows them all. Like,
Yeah, but how do you
super
explain you
fans,
got
you know?
such a new younger audience which wasn't even
Amazing.
born?
It's what keeps us going,
Yeah,
you know, because people my age don't go to shows anymore.
really, we do.
Well,
But
some.
yeah,
I know I don't at home. You know, it has to be a really awesome show or really good friends of mine to get me out of the house.
yeah. But then again, when you see all the bands around, regardless are they thrash metal or not, you still got the people who are sold out, selling the tours out, like Iron Maiden, Bruce Springsteen, all the not the younger bands. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
you can take Linkin Park for a younger band or whatever. So what do you think is the reason for your being such a long popular for your
I don't
staying
know.
on stage?
Just we're lucky that we started out at an era before downloading and all that, when tape trading was big, and so we had fans around the world before we'd ever done an album. You know, so we're lucky like that. It's harder now for young bands, but you know, you have all the old bands are still selling out the huge venues, and people will complain that there's no young bands selling out venues and arenas, and then Sleep Token becomes huge and people complain about Sleep Token selling out arenas. Isn't that what we want? We want newer bands to like take the place and become headliners, you know, and so I'm a fan. I like Sleep Token, and you know, and I'm happy to see them do well, because you know, people complain with that there's no new bands selling arenas out, and then a new one comes out and like, I don't want that one to do it, you know, I don't like them, but you know, that's what we want, and people are cranky and they complain when it happens, you know? Like, we need more younger bands to sell arenas, not just Metallica and Iron Maiden. And, you know, now we don't even have Black Sabbath anymore. It's just all legacy bands. You know, we need younger bands to do well.
Yeah, besides Sleep Token, is there any other band you would like you listen or you think at the future about?
What I listen to is mostly predominantly not metal, you know?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you what you privately
Oh,
listen to.
Adele. I love Adele. I love pop music.
Really?
Yeah, I love pop music.
Yeah, Adele is amazing singer, you know.
She's the
So
best
yeah.
singer in a generation. She's awesome.
So is it in your personal taste or because of your grandchildren or?
No. Well, although my favorite album, one of my top 5 albums of all time, is The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. And my daughter's the one who turned me on to it. And I think it's a masterpiece. One of the greatest albums ever made. It's perfect.
Talking about like the old bands, the big bands, we all now wait. None of us, I mean, some of us here couldn't buy the ticket for the last Black Sabbath show, which is going to happen in Birmingham. But luckily, it's paid to watch, and we can enjoy that. So, what do you think about that? But all the bands are coming there to pay the tribute to
It's
such
awesome. I'm honored. You know, I'm so lucky to be a part of that. It's like, it's going to be like one of those days I hope I remember it all, because sometimes things like that go so fast, you know, like it like flies by and you like missed it, you know. So I'm going to take a lot of pictures.
Yeah, but you were, as everybody, influenced by Black Sabbath
Oh
at
yeah,
that time.
we would be nowhere without Tony Iommi, you know.
I can
None of
imagine.
us would. Every band there paying tribute to him and Black Sabbath owe their whole lives to him. You know? So to Birmingham, you know, like Sabbath and Judas Priest, that one city is directly responsible for Metallica and Slayer and Exodus and, you know, and Iron Maiden and everybody else in the world. You know, we owe it to the city of Birmingham to be special.
Do you know what you're going to play, or it's a secret? So we're
I
gonna
do.
see?
I know what
You
I'm
know.
playing. Yeah,
But you can't tell us.
Not going to tell you though.
But it's great to be a part of it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
gonna be
history,
awesome. It's
really.
gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing about that. What do you think about, do your like kids or grandkids like vinyl as a form? Because I see the kids want to buy records. They bring them
Yeah,
back.
people like vinyl again. I think it's cool because, you know, at my age, that's what we bought was vinyl, you know, and you had the lyric sheet and you open it up and you listen to the album for the first time and you read the lyrics as you heard the songs for that first time. It was a special experience, you know, and you don't get that with a digital download. You know, what are you going to sit there with your laptop on your lap and look up the lyrics and stare at a screen? It's not the same, you know.
Yeah, but they're coming back to the vinyl as a
Yeah,
form.
they love it. It's
Probably
awesome.
because they're fed up by click. But comparing to our generations, they're blessed because in my country over here, we had to fight for the music. You couldn't buy any records. And as you said, one of us is buy the records and we all sit and read the lyrics and like listen for the first time. But do you think everything is lost, or is it in that kind of magic to approach the music? But on the other side, it's fine for them, for they can just one click on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, they can listen whatever they want. Do you think that they are spoiled by the fact that they can hear whatever they want and don't need to
Maybe a
fight?
little. I mean, people are spoiled by technology in general. You know, like, God, before cell phones, I had memorized, you know, like 150 phone numbers, you know, all your friends. You go to a payphone, you knew their phone number. I don't know my children's phone numbers.
Yeah.
They're just stored in my phone. I just enter their name, you know, like I know my number, my mother's number, and my wife's number, and I don't know Tom Hunning's phone number, you know, because technology makes you stupid.
Yeah, I see. A friend guitarist asked me to ask you, can you just, you're still on ESP, right, as a guitarist?
Yeah.
So they ask you, can you just say like the technical details, which pickup you use and what guitars you're playing, and, you know, like...
You know, I have several different guitars. I use my pickups, my signature EMG set, signature ESP guitars, Floyd Rose, you know, mahogany body and neck, you know, maple top, usual stuff. They're awesome.
What would you be your advice to the kid who starts playing guitar and in a band? Now, from your experience at this age, what is the most important for them to do?
Learn how to, like, a job skill, because it's almost impossible to make money now in it. You know, practice guitar, but learn to be an electrician or something.
Yeah, but they want to shred so much.
Want to shred? Listen to Angus Young. You don't need to listen to anyone else. You know, all these like YouTube shred guitar players, you know, to where it sounds like video game music now. I don't like that, you know. I mean, I admire it and I can't do it, but I'd rather listen to Angus Young all day, every day.
You're not hiding your age, and you say now when you're 61 you want to relax, but where do you find the strength to go every night on stage and give yourself 100% to the audience? It might be difficult after all these years and with such a hectic
We love doing it. When you love doing it, you fight through the aches and pains and being tired, you know. Like, I love being on stage. It's fucking fun, you know. Like, I'm 61 years old and I get to play super loud, aggressive music with super crunchy guitars for a living. That's pretty awesome. It's better than digging ditches, you know.
Yeah, but once we retire, it's off. You know?
I went from being in Exodus to working really terrible jobs, you know, when the band broke up, because I had no job skills, you know. Like, that's why I tell people to learn something. A good way to make a living aside from guitar, because I was like washing campers and cleaning up dog shit for like $6 an hour after playing the Headbangers Ball tour, you know. And so, you know, I'm lucky. I'm happy to be here. I don't take this for granted. You know, this is, I'm blessed, for lack of a better word, you know.
Yeah, but I think all in this business, we all had reality check with the COVID and everything, when the shows were forbidden or whatever.
Yeah.
The music industry was really lost a lot of money, and we all find out what I'm going to do now, because if I'm working as a music journalist all my life, what I'm going to do now when there's no concerts and there's shows or whatever. But luckily we survived. So
yeah.
I won't waste your time anymore, and thank you very much for finding time. Just tell us a little more for the end. Like, is it the material on your album? I'm just curious, similar to the previous one, because it's been 4 years since you released like Persona Non Grata.
It's 100% Exodus, and at times 100% different. There's some surprises on it. It's super heavy.
Really?
Yeah, it's super heavy. There's some moments that are so fast. There's moments that are super slow. Like, just satanic, evil as fuck.
So we're going to be surprised?
Yeah, you're going to be
surprised.
But
what I always like about you is that you made an albums. It's not like now the bands are making singles anymore. Like, from the moment you put the record, if you talk about records, and to play, from the first song to the last song, it's the album. You enjoy it. It's an album. It's not just like 3 hits and then the rest of it.
No, we write albums. We never concern ourselves with singles. That's why in the past some of our songs were 11 minutes long because we didn't care, you know. We just wanted a song's done when it's done, you know. If it's 3 minutes, cool. If it's 11 minutes, cool too.
Yeah, but as you're famous for the long songs, are they going to be on the new album?
There's a couple. Lee wrote the longest song, not me.
Really?
I wrote the shortest one. Like Lee broke the mold and like, how long? You're kidding me. Like, and I got one that's like 2 minutes and 49 seconds or something. It's not even 3 minutes long.
Yeah, but people now stuck to the radio friendly that more than 4 minutes.
No, it's not
be
radio friendly. It's ridiculously heavy.
Yeah.
But it's just short, you know. Song's done when it's done.
That's right. We're looking forward to the night show, and
Yeah,
thank you very much for finding the time for us. And just promise us we won't fade for you so long like we did. So expect you for the next album, next tour, hopefully to come to Belgrade and to Serbia. Looking forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.